This is not how I expected my first 24 hours in Japan to go. It was looking good a couple days ago, but then I checked it. It's actually looking like that flight has been overbooked. My options are running out. The standby stress is definitely setting in. I did not sleep barely a wink. The standby travel's on my mind. The last possible minute I got confirmed. I was the very last on the priority list, but it doesn't matter. I got on. She's like, oh, you just want to have a good seat. I was like, I don't care. I just want to be on this plane. In order to explain, let me take you back to the day before I was supposed to leave. Alright, so just checking in, it is the day before the flight, actually the evening before the whole flight day, and you guys really enjoyed sort of the logistics of flying standby, so I'm going to let you know what's going on here for getting to Japan. Now, I had booked myself on a flight from my current city to Montreal, and then Montreal to Narita, so Tokyo, Japan, and it was looking good a couple days ago, but then I checked it, and it's actually looking like that flight has been overbooked. And it's the same situation with all of the flights from Toronto as well. So Toronto has a flight to Narita and Toronto also has a flight to Haneda. None of those are looking very good, and so my options are running out. If I go to Vancouver, that is completely, like, there's no open seats and it is overbooked. So looking for alternatives. I'm still checked into that flight. If anything goes wrong, I can try. But right now, it's looking like I'm going to be flying from Montreal to Denver, Colorado, which I've never been to that airport, and then from Denver to Narita. Now, those are actually looking good. There are some people listed, but there are also enough open seats for everyone to get on at this point in time right now. But we're not going to know until we actually get to the gate. So it becomes a little difficult because the hotel that I actually have booked in Tokyo, the cancellation policy is up until the 28th. Now, I didn't cancel anything because as of right now, it actually looks like I'll probably be able to get there and check in on time. However, I think if I do cancel within the 24-hour frame of like checking in and this cancellation fee, I only lose one night. So worst come to worst, I pay for a night, but I don't think that's gonna actually happen. And I also have a tour booked for Tuesday, so like I need to get here on Monday, basically. The worst case scenario, absolute worst case scenario, I come back and then I go from Halifax to Frankfurt to Tokyo, which is actually an insane route. It doesn't make any sense, but that's the absolute worst case scenario. You at this point probably know what's gonna happen. I currently don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna take you guys along for the journey. Right now, the standby stress is definitely setting in. It looks good, but you really don't know until you get to the gate. So I'll check back in with you tomorrow while the journey is happening. So let's get to that. And as it turns out, and as you can probably guess, that plan went completely out the window. All right, good morning from my local airport. It is currently 5:30 in the morning. I am absolutely exhausted. Barely slept a wink last night. I was just thinking about this whole day of travel. It's going to be a question of, do I get on Denver to Narita? Pray to the standby gods for me, and I will check back up with you when I arrive in Montreal, but I have to literally run to the gate. Like, I don't have any time to show you the airport. I'll only be able to give you updates once I arrive at my gate because I pretty much have to book it from gate to gate when I land less than an hour before departure. But anyway, I have the next 2 hours to rest, relax, sleep on the plane, and I'll check back up with you in Montreal and we'll see how that goes. Every trip starts with a plan, and this one lasted about as long as it took to land in Montreal. In my mind, I was already on my way through Denver. 30 minutes after touching down, I was at my next gate. Naturally, that's when everything unraveled. My flight to Denver was running late. Not by much, but just enough to turn a 45-minute minimum connection into a 15-minute fantasy. The agent didn't sugarcoat it. You will be stranded in Denver. Fair enough. So I opened up my laptop and started gambling with the departure board. Toronto? Bad idea. The nonstop from here to Narita? Definitely not happening. Then I saw Chicago. Montreal to Chicago, Chicago to Haneda. It was sort of a long shot, but the kind that just might work. And if it didn't, there's certainly worse cities to get stuck in. Boarding started in 15 minutes. Just enough time to stop thinking and commit. Okay guys, at the last possible minute, I got confirmed. I was the very last on the priority list, but it doesn't matter. I got on. She's like, oh, you just want to have a good seat. I was like, I don't care. I just want to be on this plane. So we are boarding now. It is time to go. Let's go to Japan. Let's go to Haneda. Okay, that's not exactly how I intended to get to Japan this time, but it worked. The standby gods answered my prayers. That brings us to here. Now we are in Tokyo, Japan. So grateful, so happy. Staying in the Akihabara district. I have not eaten in a long time. I'm starving, and I have made myself a reservation using Tabelog. Now, from my understanding, this is where you're gonna get the best rated restaurants by Japanese locals. This is what they use. It's more reliable than Google Maps when it comes to the review section. And so I went into the section that says highly rated by locals, and I found a really great restaurant here in this neighborhood that we're gonna have tonight. I made a reservation. The reservation's for 2 people. It wouldn't let me do 1. So there is a 50-50 chance that they're gonna tell me no at the door. I can't come in without that second person, and it's gonna result in a cancellation fee. I don't know what's gonna happen. Do I tell them that there was a second person and they didn't show up? I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping that I get to eat there because I picked a special package that's like 3 hours all you can drink with 8 dishes. They give you the names of 3 dishes and then it says and more ... So my understanding is that there's 8 dishes. I'm not 100% sure. But what I am sure about is that it is highly rated by locals. I'm super excited. And we have 1 hour till our reservation. But let's go outside now, get the first impressions of the city, and explore Akihabara. Let's go. Kanda sits 1 neighborhood over from Akihabara, but it feels like an entirely different city. 14 minutes on foot and suddenly the neon gives way to narrow streets packed with izakayas, where office workers are seemingly blowing off steam with their friends and colleagues. I was feeling so delirious to be here after more than 24 hours of travel and airport limbo. At this point, it felt like one giant fever dream. But I had one mission: get to my first meal in Tokyo and to make it count. Alright, so I have come out to dinner at a place called Kanda Maguro Gyoko. This street that I'm on is just lined with izakayas, but everyone seems to be local here. So I asked to sit outside. It's so crowded inside and it's so loud. People are smoking. It is wild. So as I sat down, he brought out this little appetizer. Looks like slices of tuna, some wasabi, and then a salad as well. So I guess it's like 3 hours all you can drink with multiple dishes coming. So I'll show every single one as they come out. I just ordered a ginger highball. The menu's entirely in Japanese, so I used Google Translate to sort of like look through what the options are, but I knew I wanted a ginger highball. And yeah, let's get dinner started. First night, first 24 hours here in Japan. Crazy. Now the question is this part of that 8 or 5 or however many dishes it is this the tuna cheek steak? I don't think so, because it's kind of large. This just might be like an appetizer when you sit down. Oh man, nothing compares to the sushi here in Japan. It is amazing. Look at this all underneath. So that is just sparking the appetite. Oh my god, I cannot wait. I really hope that was an appetizer because, oh, we have more. Thank you. Ooh, more has arrived. Oh my gosh, guys, let me show you this one. These just seem to be tuna dishes coming out. Now this looks like it has been marinated. We have pickled onions. We have sprouts on top. It's just glistening. It looks amazing, but before we dig into that,
we have to go in for ginger highball. Woo! It's gonna be a fun night. All right. Cheers, guys. Oh my gosh. It's so flavorful. A little bit of spice, but it is beyond tender, so fresh. Let's try some of these pickled onions with it. See that on top? Very light, actually. It's radish, but lightly pickled. Oh, that's so good, guys. I don't know. On my first night when I get to places, especially when I'm alone, I'm a little shy when I'm filming because I guess it's just been so long since I filmed last. So yeah, I'm feeling a little shy tonight, but that's okay. Look at that. Massive slices. So fun when you don't have to share with anybody too. Oh, incredible. It's so simple. Good fresh cut of tuna. Oh, I can't wait to see what's next. This is turning out to be an amazing night. All right, let's dig into the karaage. It's almost too big to have with chopsticks, so I'm just gonna go with my hands. The exterior looks so crispy. Let's see if we can get like a good crisp, crunchy shot. That's nice. Super juicy on the inside. Did you hear the crunch? Hopefully the microphone could pick that up. It's literally dripping chicken juice. Oh my gosh. So nice. The exterior is breaded, very simple in flavor. I don't think there's even a spice blend used. So I'm gonna use a little bit of lemon. Sprinkle that on top. But one thing I do know is that the chicken inside is really juicy. It's just like a bar snacking food. Very interesting to go from like tuna slices to this. But I'm not complaining. Fried chicken is amazing. So far, I'm loving this meal. This is just skin. Super crunchy. Oh my gosh. That is insane. All right, the next dish has arrived. I'm excited for this one. So this looks like it's tamago, which is egg. It has been topped with ikura, which is salmon roe. Look at that. So salmon eggs, essentially, which are kind of like fruit gushers of the sea. They'll basically pop liquid into your mouth. It sounds maybe for some unappetizing, but they're absolutely delicious. On top of tamago, which is egg, and it's gonna be like a little sweet. Oh yeah. I love that contrast. The tamago is always a little bit sweet, fluffy, and then the ikura on the top is like salty, savory, seafoody. That burst of salt in your mouth is actually so good. I think you either love it or you hate it, but it is absolutely amazing. Let's try just one of them. Look at this little ball. You can make it burst in your mouth. It tastes like the sea. I don't know how else to explain it. It's really salty, and it's got a very distinct flavor. These ones only have a couple left on top. It's the perfect blend between sweet and salty. That is damn good. Surprisingly too, because it's so simple, but it's so good.
The dishes just kept coming and never stopped. Next, the bluefin tuna cheek. Kissed by flame for just a moment, it was charred on the outside but still beautifully raw in the center. Smoky, buttery, and packed with enough umami to make you forget how tired you are. Then came the bowl of chirashi, bright slices of fish and eggs scattered over warm, seasoned rice. It was simple, but delicate, exactly what it needs to be. By this point I was entering dangerous food coma territory. But just then, dessert arrived. A frozen jelly-like cheesecake that somehow managed to be rich without feeling heavy. Just enough sweetness to end the meal on a high note, but still able to walk myself home.
That is it for that restaurant for the evening, but don't click away just yet. Total came to $4,000, which is around $35. And we still have the rest of the series to go, so you don't want to miss that. And I also have to get home on standby too. So let's let's fast forward to the end of the trip now. We'll see what are some of the highlights, what are some of the low points, and let's see if we get home on time. Let's hope. Fingers crossed. Alright guys, we are on our way out of Tokyo. Right now it's looking good. It's almost 3 p.m. and I'm getting on the train. I've retrieved my luggage from the storage and I am waiting to see. I'm not gonna find out until 1 hour before departure, so they gotta start boarding before I find out. Such a great trip here in Tokyo. Maybe it'll go longer, I don't know. We'll find out. Alright, let's get on the train. Alright guys, so I found a quiet little corner. I'm here at Haneda Airport and it's looking pretty good for me. I'm in like a quiet zone, so I'm trying to keep it down. But right now, it's almost 4 o'clock. The flight leaves at 6, so I won't find out until 1 more hour if I'm getting on. The gate agent said it's looking pretty good, but of course my seat will still be assigned at the gate. So I'm number 12 on the standby list. So while we wait, I kind of wanted to take a little bit of time to go over some of the top moments, some of the low points, and what I've learned or overcame as a solo traveling woman who is facing some challenges. So I'd say the highlights, I mean, everything is a highlight in Japan. The food everywhere was incredible. Some of the standouts were that Wagyu beef in the Tsukiji fish market, the experience inside the restaurant in Tsukiji with the chef. That was really fun. Those are some standout moments. When we went to Kichijoji, and we did that izakaya hopping tour in Harmonica Yokocho. That was amazing. That was so much fun. I had a blast there. And then meeting up with Hebe, who lived in Halifax, it just felt like you had that sort of connection with people. And it was nice to meet people in Japan, which is not always the easiest. But everyone's been so friendly. Honestly, everything's been a highlight. It was an amazing trip. And then traveling solo as a woman, you always feel not on edge, but you always feel like you're on. You're always aware of everything. You're always trying to stay vigilant. Even if you're going out to have a few drinks, you never lose control and you are always aware of your surroundings because you need to be. And that's always challenging. You never feel like you can fully relax. But that's okay because it's an important skill to have as a woman. Those challenges are actually like the most empowering moments of these trips because when you look back, you're like, I did it. I did it all by myself. I had a blast all by myself and I can travel across the world all by myself. I know I can do it. And staying independent, I feel like as you age, gets more and more important and being able to rely on yourself. So as challenging as some of these trips are, traveling solo, they're also some of the most rewarding trips. So to sort of wrap everything up, I have to say that I am so deeply grateful to be able to do trips like this. It's such a great learning experience. It's such a great way to challenge yourself. And I hope you guys enjoy the experience as well. And I hope there's something that you can take away from these experiences. I know that going out in the middle of the night as a solo traveling woman, that what I did in Taipei really resonated with a lot of you. And a lot of you guys had very valid concerns. But I also hope that it's like inspiring to some women of all ages, to be able to just go out and travel the way you want to travel. This is going to be an amazing series, so make sure you don't miss the rest of them. Give it a like, leave me a comment, give it a hype, and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss the next episode coming from Tokyo, Japan. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.